Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about hydrostatic forces on plane and curved surfaces. My name is Saurabh Sharma. I am assistant professor in Sankara Institute of Technology, Jaipur. In this slide, I'm going to talk about forces on plane and curved surfaces when a liquid is contained by a surface such as dam, the side of a ship or a water tank or a levee. It is necessary to calculate the force and its location due to the liquid. The liquid is most often water, but it could be oil or some other liquid. We will develop equation for forces on plane surfaces, but forces on curved surfaces can be determined using the same equation. Figure shows a curved dam with water at higher elevation on other side. In this slide, I am going to analyze hydrostatic forces on submerged surfaces. A plate is exposed to a liquid such as gate valve in a dam, the wall of a liquid storage tank and the hull of a ship at rest is subjected to fluid pressure distributed over its surface. On a plane surface, the hydrostatic force forms a system of parallel forces, and we often need to determine the magnitude of the force and its point of application, which is called the center of pressure. In most cases, the other side of the plate is open to the atmosphere, such as the dry side of the gate, and thus atmospheric pressure acts on both sides of the plate, yielding to a zero resultant. In this slide, you can see from the diagram, like from the figure, you can see that the top surface of a flat plate of arbitrary shape completely submerged in a liquid. The plane of this surface, normal to the face, intersects the horizontal free surface with an angle of theta, and we take the line of intersection to be the x-axis. The absolute pressure above the liquid is P0, which is the local atmospheric pressure P atm if the liquid is open to the atmosphere. In this slide, I'm going to talk about how to calculate the absolute pressure at any point on the plate, that will be equal to P, and how we calculate that. So it should be equal to the pressure on the free surface plus the pressure at the height h. So that will be equal to P0 plus rho g y sin theta, where h is the vertical distance of the point from the free surface and y is the distance of the point from the x-axis. The resultant hydrostatic force Fr acting on the surface is determined by the integrating the force P into dA. dA, what is dA? dA is the elemental differential area over the entire surface. So we have taken an elemental area from the entire surface, and what we will do, we will integrate how much amount of force pressure is acting on that particular area. So we will find out the pressure first on that particular area, then we will multiply that pressure into differential element of that area. So we will get the value of P into dA. Then what we will do, we will integrate throughout the surface. We will integrate that force throughout the surface. Then we will get the entire resultant force acting on that particular element, a particular plate, whatever, which is submerged on the liquid. So what is the expression we have got after integrating? We got P0 plus A plus rho g y sin theta integration of y into dA. What is y integration of y into dA? It is the first moment of area is related to the y coordinate of the centroid or center of the surface. That will be equal yc is equal to 1 upon A integration of y into dA. So we can write down y into dA, integration of y into dA equal to yc into A. In the previous slide, we have calculated the resultant force acting on that plate, which is submerged in a liquid. So what is the expression? The expression was like, Fr is equal to P0 plus rho g yc into sin theta in a bracket into A, and that yc sin theta, that will be equal to SC, is the vertical distance of the centroid from the free surface of the liquid. So what will be the expression? P0, that will be bracket के अंदर P0 plus rho g SC into bracket close into A, and P0 plus rho g SC we can write down equal to PC is the pressure at the centroid of the surface, which is equivalent to the average pressure of on the surface. Okay, so that will be equal to P average into A. Okay. In this slide, we will conclude that the magnitude of the resultant force acting on a plane surface of a completely submerged plate in a homogeneous bracket constant density fluid is equal to the product of the pressure PC at the centroid of the surface and the area A of the surface. Okay, the pressure P0 is usually atmospheric pressure, which can be ignored in most cases since it acts on both sides of the plate. So both sides will be the atmospheric pressure, so that will be cancelled out. Okay, so we will not consider, we will ignore that kind of cases. Okay, so when this is not the case, a practical way of accounting for the contribution of P0 to the resultant force is simply to add an equivalent depth H equivalent. You know that P0 is equal to H equivalent into rho into G. So from that we will find out the H equivalent equal to P0 upon rho G to SC, that is to assume the presence of an additional liquid layer of thickness H equivalent on top surface of the liquid with absolute vacuum above. In this slide I am going to talk about determination of line of action of the resultant force Fr. Two parallel forces system are equivalent if they have the same magnitude and the same moment about any point. The line of action of the resultant hydrostatic force in general does not pass through the centroid of the surface. It lies underneath where the pressure is higher. The point of intersection of the line of action of the resultant force and the surface is the center of pressure. The vertical location of the line of action is determined by equating the moment of the resultant force to the moment of the distributed forces about the x-axis. It gives yr into fr equal to integration of y into p into dA. So p into dA, we can put the value of p is equal to p0 plus rho gy into sine theta into dA into y. So we will integrate and that p0 will come out. So we will get p0 into integration of y into dA plus rho g sine theta integration of y square into dA. So after integration, what we'll get, yp into fr equal to p0 into yc into a plus rho g sine theta into ixs into o. That is y square into integration of y square into dA. That is a moment of inertia about the x-axis. In the previous slide, we got a certain expression of line of action of the resultant force Fr, where yp is the distance of the center of pressure from the x-axis and integration of y square into dA, that is the second moment of area, also called the moment of inertia about the x-axis. The second moments of area about two parallel axes are related to each other by the parallel axis theorem, which is the case is expressed as Ixs O is equal to Ixsc plus Yc square into A, where Ixs is the second moment of area about the x-axis passing through the centroid of the area, and Yc, the y coordinate of the centroid, is the distance between the two parallel axes. So substituting Fr, ignoring atmospheric pressure P0 equal to 0, so we will got the expression Yp is equal to Yc plus Ixx into C upon Yc into A. Knowing Yp, the vertical distance of the center of pressure from the free surface is determined as Sp is equal to Yp into sine theta, so we will get from there. In the previous slide we have discussed about moment of inertia, second moment of area, but in this slide we will talk about centroid and centroidal moments of inertia for some common geometries. So we have certain geometries: rectangle, circle, ellipse, triangle, semicircle and semi-ellipse. So one by one we will calculate the value of area and moment of inertia of all of these geometries. First one is rectangle. So area of rectangle is equal to AB and moment of inertia of that rectangle is equal to AB cube by 12. And second one is circle. So area of circle is equal to pi r square and moment of inertia is equal to pi r की power 4 upon 4. Third one is ellipse. So area of the ellipse is equal to pi AB and moment of inertia of the ellipse is equal to pi AB cube upon 4. Fourth one is triangle. So area of triangle is equal to AB by 2 and moment of inertia is equal to AB cube by 36. Fourth one is semicircle. So area of semicircle is equal to pi r square by 2 and moment of inertia is equal to 109.757 r की power 4. And last one is semi-ellipse. So area of the semi-ellipse is equal to pi AB by 2 and the moment of inertia is equal to 0.109757 AB cube. In this slide I am going to talk about some special cases and we will find out hydrostatic force acting on the top surface of a submerged rectangular plate for tilted vertical and horizontal cases. Okay, so from the figure you can see there's a lots of figure over there. So first figure will be the tilted plate, and second for vertical plate, and third one is for horizontal plate. So from first figure we can see that we got a plate, tilted plate with an angle of inclination equal to theta, and the force, resultant force acting on the plate, that will be equal to rho P naught plus rho g s plus b by 2 into sin theta multiplied by AB. Okay, and second figure, from the second figure we got a vertical plate and the pressure is acting all over the plate, and here we will find out the resultant force will be equal to P naught plus rho g s plus b by 2 into B. We'll put the value of theta is equal to 90, so it will be equal to 1. So we'll find out the resultant force will be equal to P naught plus rho g s plus b by 2 into AB. And in case of horizontal plate, that pressure is acting all over the plate, that will be equal to the uniformly, that pressure will be distributed uniformly throughout the length of the plate. Okay, so if you want to find out the resultant force, that will be equal to P naught plus rho g h into AB. So that is very easy to understand. Okay, so now we will find out the vertical distance of HP from the free surface directly beneath the center of the plate. Okay, so that will be equal to P yp is equal to s plus b by 2 plus AB cube upon 12 upon bracket can s plus b by 2 plus P naught upon rho g sin theta bracket close into AB. Okay, so we will find out that vertical distance HP 1 by 1 for each and every special cases. In this slide we have calculated the resultant for each and every special cases. Like in the previous one, I have calculated the resultant for the vertical rectangular plate, that FR that will be equal to P naught plus rho g s plus b by 2 into AB, and for vertical plate s equal to 0, then FR is equal to P naught plus rho g b by 2 into AB, and for horizontal plate, rectangular plate, that will be equal to FR is equal to P naught plus rho g h into AB. In this slide I will go for some numericals, like there is a hydrostatic force acting on the door of a submerged car. That heavy car plunges into a lake during an accident and lands at the bottom of the lake on its wheel. The door is 1.2 meter high and 1 meter wide, and the top edge of the door is 8 meter below the free surface of the water. So what we have to do, we have to find out the hydrostatic force on the door and the location of the pressure center. And second one is, can the driver open the door assuming he can lift maximum 100 kg load. And third one is, provide a plausible solution for the driver to open the door. Okay, so all the values are given over there, so you have to solve by your own. Again in this slide I'm going to talk about some numericals. Like numerical is given over there. A 60 centimeter square gate has its top as 12 meter below the water surface. It is on the 45-degree angle, and its bottom edge is as shown in the figure. And what we have to do, we have to find out the force P is needed to just open the gate. So all the values are given over there, you have to solve by your own. In all the previous slide I was talking about plane surface submerged in a liquid. Now I'll talk about hydrostatic force on submerged curved surface. In this slide I'm going to talk about hydrostatic forces on submerged curved surfaces. The easiest way to determine the resultant hydrostatic force Fr acting on a two-dimensional curved surface is to determine the horizontal and vertical components Fh and Fv separately. Okay, so this is done by considering the free body diagram of the liquid block enclosed by the curved surface and the two plane surfaces, one horizontal and one vertical, passing through the 2 ends of the curved surface as shown in the figure. So in this slide I just find out the horizontal force component on curved surface Fh equal to Fx, and vertical force component on curved surface Fv equal to Fi plus W, where the summation Fi plus W is a vector addition, that is add magnitudes if both act in same direction and subtract if they act in opposite direction. So thus we conclude that the horizontal component of hydrostatic force acting on a curved surface is equal in both magnitude and the line of action of the hydrostatic force acting on the vertical projection of the curved surface. The vertical component of the hydrostatic force acting on a curved surface is equal to the hydrostatic force acting on the horizontal projection of the curved surface plus or minus if acting in the opposite direction the weight of the fluid block. When a curved surface is above the liquid, the weight of the liquid and the vertical component of the hydrostatic force act in the opposite direction. The magnitude of the resultant hydrostatic force acting on the curved surface is under root of Fh square plus Fy square, and the tangent of the angle it makes with the horizontal is tan alpha is equal to Fe upon Fh. In this slide, when the curved surface is a circular arc, full circle or any part of it, the resultant hydrostatic force acting on the surface always passes through the center of the circle. This is because the pressure forces are normal to the surface and all lines normal to the surface of a circle passes through the center of the circle. Thus the pressure forces form a concurrent force system at the center which can be reduced to a single equivalent force at the point. Again in this slide I am going to talk about some numericals. A long solid cylinder of radius 0.8 meter hinged at point A is used an automatic gate as shown in the figure. When the water level reaches 5 meter, the gate opens by turning about the hinge at point A. So what we have to do, we have to determine the hydrostatic force acting on the cylinder and its line of action when the gate opens, and second one is the weight of the cylinder per meter length of the cylinder. So all the values are given over there, you have to solve by your own. So this is all in my present lecture. Thank you.